Let's learn IIB. Today, I will show you how to allow access to your queue manager from specific users and specific IP address in both Windows and Linux on Docker. I will demo today's video using queue manager from a Docker instance. See link in description for how to install IIB and MQ on Docker. When you install WebSphere MQ on your laptop, you will not have it enabled by default such that remote IP and remote users can connect to it. That is a good safety feature by IBM. On Docker, I have a listener running on port 1414. On Windows, I have set the port number to 2414. On your left, you see that my queue manager on Windows is connected locally with MQ Explorer tool. But on the right, when I try to connect to it using RFHUtil, it blocks me. Observe the error logged in this file. File path for Windows is shown on screen. We see that client user Vishnu from address Vishnu-Lenovo tried to access system.default.servercon and was blocked. When we look at channel authentication records, we see nobody has access to system.default.servercon. But you can use system.admin.servercon to access queue manager from MQ Explorer tool only. Next, we create a channel authentication command for system.default.servercon such that our RFHUtil-C application can connect as musr_admin. Full admin privileges will be granted for RFHUtil on my laptop. By default, your queue manager is configured to require username and password. Disable that setting if you do not wish to provide authentication details every time you connect. When you display queue manager connection auth, you will see setting check client require ADM. Change it to optional. Observe that the user list has a value of *MQADM. This blocks musr_MQadmin from accessing the queue manager remotely. Delete that entry. Testing is successful on Windows. Now let's try the same on Docker. Within Docker, when you display the default channel auth settings, you will see that system.default.servercon is configured to give you admin privileges. Execute the command shown on screen to remove access blockers, then enable channel authentication, refresh MQ security cache. Make client credential checking optional, similar to what we did for Windows. Now you can use RFHUtil-C to read and write messages from any queue. What did we learn today? On Windows, we learned how to grant only my local system IP admin access to queue manager. On Docker, we learned how to allow everyone access to the queue manager. You can use a combination of username, IP address, and even password to restrict access.